Welcome to the Joseph Grove Show. Today is Wednesday, April the 2nd, 2025. We're here to break down the most unbelievable celebrities, sports, and live events coming here. I'm at home right now and I'm just have my room. Just have my bed, man, and my this room right here is already clean and it's nothing. There's no mess going on around. But man, it has been a storied day. It has been a busy day for me and anybody and anyone else. But boy, I gotta tell you something. And everybody know what it has been. Everybody know what it has been for like this and that, and just said, well, maybe it's about time to to chill out and relax and get something right, get something over your head, and something like that was going to be. Well, anyway, I said that keep it up and just going to happen. It will happen by then and from here on now. But now we're talking about sports, and it just says like this. Well, anyway, if we got something to think about, get us something to think about what's going to happen right now. Now, we'll go to one of the most things that will happen at what's going to happen is the Final Four that I'm going to talk about this Friday. It's the Final Four that I'm going to talk about this Friday. But now we're talking about the Duke Blue Devils. Are they ready to go to the Final Four? Yes, they are. After they beat Alabama on the Elite Eight, the Duke Blue Devils are special. They look terrific, and they're looking to win probably maybe their sixth national championship. That will be, but then they're gonna get past the semifinals to beat Houston. They had to go. They had to beat Houston, and that starts at 8:49 on Saturday night. Duke number one in the scene. Houston is number one. They're also number one in the nation. They're 34-4. Duke 35-3. So now we have to talk about what's going to go down at the Final Four. It will be on Saturday night. The Final Four 2025 starts on Saturday night. Also, those two are the best number one seeds in the SEC, Florida, and Auburn are both number one. We're going to face each other at 6 on 9. That will be Saturday at 6 on 9. Now we're going to talk about the Duke Blue Devils, right? The Duke Blue Devils are in the Final Four since 2022, when they got lost by my team, the UNC Tar Heels, and it's Coach K's final season, final postseason. Now, looks like this. Now, it says this. Now, here we go, Lord. 4 years ago this spring, let's go to this. Well, now, it says this. With Duke basketball in Final Four, Coach K opens up on Blue Devils. Coach John Scheyer says about that. Now, 4 years ago this spring, when Mike Conchesi and Duke's athletics administration began planning for his retirement from coaching, the goal was a seamless transition to continue to strive for and reach the lofty results to which the Blue Devils has been accumulated under his Hall of Fame entourage. In other words, to produce exactly what's happening this weekend in San Antonio, and to do so under the guidance of fruit plucked direct from Mike Conchesi, coaching and family tree, John Scheyer. in a Final Four field with nothing but the number one seeds for just the second time in NCAA tournament history. The Blue Devils, 36-3, are the nation's number one rating team, had the best record, and are led by National Player of the Year candidate Cooper Flag, with a deep team around him. Rick Bubbles and Bill Foster lead Duke to Final Four appearances prior to Kentucky's arrival in 1980. Now, Scheyer, now Scheyer uh, has accomplished it following the Coach K's departure. Kentucky, as he prepares to head to San Antonio with his wife, Mickey, to watch the Blue Devils chase their sixth NCAA championship, and folks without him at the helm couldn't be more proud. He's been able to study the game and get information from a bunch of different sources and come up with his own probably. Now Kentucky told the News and Observer on Monday he's not trying to be like anybody. He's not going to be the Celtics or whatever. But you might take things from them. Take things from what we done and become who you are. And that's what I told him the whole time. Just be you and keep developing you. Now, Skyward's his team. They know they're gonna win the sixth national championship on Monday after the Final Four. The national championship is this Monday. Now it says this. I always wanted to make him proud. Scheyer will coach Duke against Houston on Saturday night at the Alamo Dome in San Diego and the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, having completed an 89-21 record in 3 seasons. He's won 2 ACC tournament championships and led Duke to the ACC regular season crown with a 19-1 record this season. The 37-year-old Scheyer has not added to Duke's national legacy with a Final Four trip of his own. Kentucky set the all-time NCAA men's basketball record for wins with 1,202 during his career, which included 42 seasons at Duke. He won the school's first 5 NCAA titles. But in April 2021, he informed outgoing athletics director Kevin White he wanted 2021-22 to be his final season. Duke promoted Scheyer, the standing point guard on Duke's 2010 title team, and by then an associate head coach, to be his successor. Paul Kentucky's successional plan. The following military protocols of having the postal fulfilling the role work alongside the outgoing boss. Now, that meant everything to Scheyer. He assisted as Coach K coaching as Kentucky coaching the 2021-22 season when Duke won the ACC regular season title and made one last Final Four under Kentucky. That plan set Duke up for what's a course since, Scheyer said, and showed Kentucky's love for Duke. He said I don't know how many coaches generally want to see the program succeed when they leave, Scheyer said. And for me, I always want to make him proud. Part of his legacy isn't just the wins. I want his legacy to be how our program continues to be right there as a top program, and that's something Coach K and I have talked a lot about. So this is what he said before. So let me ask you something about this, ladies and gentlemen. Do you really think that John Scheyer is the head coach of the Duke Blue Devils? That's 100% yes. Because he has been coaching, his team have won 2 ACC championships. He's going to take his Blue Devils to the next level. And it's going to be years and for years and years and years. But can his team do it? Now he's a coach now. He's a coach of the Duke Blue Devils now. It's just like says like this. He is the best coach in the nation. Coach K has won 5 national championships in 91, 92, 2001, 2010, and 2015. That's 5 national championships. 2025 will be John Schuyler's first NCAA championship time as head coach. No, he won. He was a Duke player when he won his team won the national championship back in 2010. Butler was so close for hitting a long range. They were so close, almost won the national champion. But they won back in 2010. 5 years later, they won. They beat Wisconsin. And here they are right now standing. Here they are right now here in San Antonio doing that practice. They ready to go. They ready to shine. And I hope one of my former classmates, friends, are going to see Duke getting the Houston Cougars. But anyway, I always hate Duke. Look, I always hate Duke. I really don't like those Blue Devils. But now, I'm pulling for Duke. I'm pulling for Duke for real. But I'm still the Who's North Carolina fan because I always do. But I'm pulling for Duke right now this Saturday, and I'm looking for them to win their 6th national championship. But we are the era in this era in North Carolina. Well, this era in North Carolina, I'm pulling for them. That's for sure. I am pulling for them for real. So you can never tell what will happen. And after that, look, every time I go through this, I'm going through it for real. I'm going through it. We gotta go for this way, but now, for sure. So, we'll see what happens when it gets to, like, sometime here. But anyway. But look, it will happen. It will happen for real. They gotta get Houston right. But Houston is the #1 seed in the ACC, NCAA. Houston is the #1 seed in the NCAA. They have won so many games. That's how they are #1. Well, anyway, Houston had been, let me take it back in the 80s. Houston was so close. They're up by 1 point. But then that's when NC State came out with a final dunk. NC State came out with a final dunk back in 1983, and they won the game by a dunk. They won by a dunk. And Jimmy V is so proud of him. He was so happy, and the crowd went crazy. Up there, those North Carolina State fans. And all the North Carolina State fans, do y'all remember? It was 1983. It was about 42 years ago. Then, the next year, they lost to Georgetown. When Patrick Ewing and the Georgetown won over Houston. And that was 1984. So it will happen for us. It will happen. Now, this Saturday, can Duke beat Houston and to advance to the national championship? Only time will tell here when the story comes out. Look, I gotta go. Subscribe this video. Check it out on YouTube. Check it out on TikTok. And I start this every day, probably at 10 o'clock. Till then, take care everybody. Peace out everybody. Have a great day.